We should be live.
Hey!
We think. We don't know. We're about 20 seconds ahead. Hopefully, there's been a nice tune in the background. And yeah, we're live. I'm sort of looking at my phone in anticipation as well.
The intro music
we're
is
showing.
played.
Can someone give us a heads up that you can hear both of us? We don't know. We're about 20 seconds ahead.
Yeah. People are on the chat.
Good.
We are.
Marvelous.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for
How's
joining
it going?
us.
Duncan, you have to do the intro. Hello. And welcome
Hello.
to Honest and
welcome to the first live episode of Honest and Malt. This is very weird for us. I was saying to Mike the other day, it's like going into a pub. You go into the pub, you order your pints, you sit down, and then all the tables around you turn their chairs around and just face at you, and then just stare at you whilst you're having a drink.
Yeah, like literally, this is bizarre. So it's amazing that we've even got the tech going here. Hopefully, it looks all right for everyone. Sound should be decent. It kind of registers okay from what I can see. So yeah, plan for today is, well, just test this stuff really. Hopefully, Duncan looks nervous. John from Chingford saying, I agree. Look at him. Shaking like a shitting dog.
No. Easy, John. I'm all right. We've got Sav's bland drams. We've got 3 drams that we don't know what they are.
Yes.
And we've got a slice of dried toast.
More to be explained later.
And I have got some of my open bottles out of the cupboard to put in the background.
Yeah. Duncan's turned himself around because normally I get to look at his pants drying in the background.
Yeah.
But today he's gone for a sort of special presentation. If you covered up your whiskey fridge, which is set at what temperature?
17 degrees. The perfect
temperature.
That's outrageous.
So I'm going to say it. Duncan, as it's the podcast, but it's on YouTube. This is chapter 1. What's in your glass at the moment?
I'm having a warm-up dram of this Somerton Coastal Stone. 48%.
Says is that the Aussie one?
Yeah. I've never heard of it. It says pear vintage 2022. It's brand new.
Vintage.
just
that was
whiskey.
A good year.
Yeah, just whiskey. So it says matured in a selection of ex-bourbon, sherry, port, and Phoenix French oak casks. 48%. It says pear, candy, ginger, and honey. Basically, it's very easy sipping. So it's just a warm-up dram.
I thought you were going to go, it's nice.
It is. It is quite nice. I mean,
good.
Not a whole lot to it. What about you, Mike? What's in your glass?
I had to just go for something, a palate sort of reset as such from the day.
40%.
Phoenix Rising, 40%. I just ease myself in. So beautiful dram, Phoenix Rising. If it's on offer, pick one up. Just have it out for guests, whatever.
Yeah. So we should say thanks so much for the people that joined. So John from Chingford, thanks so much. Sav, Ben, Whiskey with Molly. You've got Cliff on. Cliff saying we should have worn a tie. And yeah, John saying Duncan looks a bit nervous. Yeah, it's a bit strange to be honest, John. I'm sure I'll get
Lee J's
used to it.
in. Good evening, Lee J.
What's up, Lee J? We really appreciate you guys coming in.
Jeff Whiskey, hello.
Yeah, hey Jeff.
I think that's everyone. If we have missed you, apologies. Like us working with tech, Duncan can't even see the live chat. He's having to wait sort of 20 seconds to see it come through on his phone.
Got it on my phone.
So could be a bit behind on that front, but I can see it live. And at some point, we'll work out how to share this with each other. But for now, we've got no clue.
Yeah, what happens is I look down at my phone, and I can see myself like scratching my head.
Yeah.
20 seconds after I've done it.
I had an update for you on the Guinness Low front.
Go on.
I don't know if I told you. I might have done it briefly on a phone call. So I went to my local the other day with Isla. So literally walked the pram up, took her dinner with me. I went in, bowl of chips.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Guinness, 0%, please. Can comes out, obviously. And
did they have the special machine?
Didn't have a special machine.
Right.
But I went, do you know what you could do? You could put the real Guinness over the top of that and then bring it up to about 0.9%. He goes, yeah, mate, we've been doing that for like months.
Oh, mate, he's mugging you right off.
And I was like, no. I look like such a dickhead.
They just top it up with real Guinness.
Just topped it up real Guinness. Yeah, it's a thing. But he also said, yeah, we do it with their Shepherd Neame IPA because they've got bottles of 0% IPA in the fridge.
Top it up with the real thing.
Top it up with that. I was like, damn it. Yeah. And he still has, if anyone's looking for Glenmorangie, there's still about 20,000 Glenmorangie 10s, which they haven't sold.
Imagine if that was the only pub in the UK that had done that, and you walked into the only one. You're like, bold as brash. You're like, I've got this great idea. You found the one pub, and they're like, oh, we've done that for ages, mate. You could go into 1,000 more pubs, and they go, oh, that's genius. Never thought of that.
No. So yeah, that was my Guinness low update. But yeah.
Alan Smith is saying the Coastal Stone Nor'easter is cinnamon on cinnamon. Yeah, there's quite a lot of cinnamon in it, but it's still quite easy sipping. It's just.
Is it like aniseedy or is it cinnamon? Because I know they're like kind of the same thing. The aniseed's like overpowering.
No, it's cinnamon. Like there's not. I've tried some Australian jams like Limeburger. Is it Limeburger or whatever? And they're just absolutely wacky. They're like in sledgehammer in your face stuff. This is just. Yeah, it's just.
It's just another bottle on the Barbie, mate.
Vanilla, cinnamon spice, honey. That's basically it, really. I'm not sure about the other notes that says you get.
Thank you, Lee G. Oh, do you know what? I misread his comments. I thought he said great faces for a podcast, but he said great to put faces to podcast voices. So,
oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Cheers. I was about to kick off there, Lee G, but thank you. But
what do you want to start with today, then, Mike? I've had a busy weekend. I went to.
You've been to weddings, haven't you?
I went to. It's a. Tick things some of the big bucket list. I went to. I saw 2 men get married to a long-term friend. So I've been to my first ever gay wedding.
Good.
Great day in Norwich, lovely venue, and I was doing driving duty. So Maria, go on it.
This is why we couldn't do the pod yesterday. So Duncan, really, you could have just driven back.
Yeah, I should have done it in the car like you suggested.
I did say take a phone. We'll do it from the car park.
There was actually, it turns out there was loads of space in the hotel. They probably could have just done it at one end of the bar. One of the bars was just totally empty. I probably just gone on their Wi-Fi, just set up.
Yeah. Get the odd drunk guest flying through. Oh, you're going to be on fucking thing.
Exactly. So what do you want to start with today, Mike? We're going to start with Sav's Bland Drams, which was...
Sav's, just to correct, so it's Sav's Blind Drams, obviously, but when we were recording the pod, Duncan had a little faux pas, and it was so funny. We were just pissing ourselves, so it was stuck. So Sav's Bland Drams were how they were sort of brought forward.
Yeah.
I'm happy to start with those.
In these, Sav, love what you've done. You weren't expecting us to do it live on YouTube, so in all fairness to you, sorry about that.
But can I just say as well, the fill level, Sav?
Yeah.
Half of it's on my counter.
I think I've decided that either Sav either really doesn't like these whiskies or he doesn't like us, one of the two. Because every single one was literally right to the top. I've just been pouring it down the sink and put that underneath and gone, actually, I could just give some to those guys.
Yeah, they may or may not be bland, he said. Decent. Yeah. I'm happy. Should we... Let's have a look.
Yeah, got them all poured. Haven't had a nose, haven't had a taste, so fully blind.
Fully blind.
Yeah. In these lovely little bottles. Thanks very much.
3 mice territory.
Yeah.
Just readjust my chair. Look at the professionalism to the end. Right.
Oh.
What I will say as well, what we do edit out on the pod is a fucking awful lot of
because it really annoys mostly because it annoys us.
You're gonna get a lot of mouth slapping and everything else that I'm normally going, for fuck's sake, Duncan, just cut your mouth.
Yeah.
And then other days he's like, what did you eat before you did the pod? Yeah, because all you were doing was cleaning your teeth with your tongue.
I'm gonna have a shout out to is it Whiskey Banter or something like that? I think it's Whiskey Banter. It's like a Canadian pod, and they're always on doing tasting and just smacking their lips. Put up with it. But yeah, edit it out if you can.
Oh, it's a bloody lovely nose. I'll tell you that for nothing.
It's a bit sort of it's got that kind of creosote, creamy and creosote, doesn't it? In it.
Yeah, I just said like
barbecue sauce, that sweet brown barbecue sauce, right?
I would have said a red wine Kalila or something, or a sherry Kalila, but that is a smoky little beast on the palate.
Yeah, you started with I assume that they're all peated.
They got to be. If they're not peated, they're not bland. Let's put it that way.
Otherwise we'll have Brian saying that he couldn't tell what the Glen Scotia Tawny Port was because it was after Kalila and his palate's been destroyed. World's smallest violin.
My favorite whiskey in the world ever. 2 out of 5.
Sav says he fills to the top, so there's no bubbles. just in case we're going to inject it into ourselves. He didn't want us to die.
Yeah.
So he's made sure there's no bubbles in the sample.
Can you inject this? Will it cure COVID? That's a shit impression.
Yeah. Cleopatra had a lovely nose, apparently, Cliff.
Doesn't beat mine. I saw myself the other day on camera and fucking hell. It's like I've been putting it in fertilizer, growing it.
Who did you aspire to be like? Who are the most famous people with massive noses? There was that French guy. He had an enormous nose. Was it Gerard something?
Gerard Depardieu. Yeah, I got called that a lot.
Gerard Depardieu. So,
what else have I had?
Wayne Rooney's nose isn't that big, though, is it?
No. Yeah, but I think that was a misident, wasn't it? He was just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I've had Brian O'Driscoll before, obviously, when I was a bit more slender. To the point where, I don't know if I've mentioned this, I probably have on the pod before, where the boys from my rugby club, we went on tour to Dublin, and I got the phone call on the way back, and it was the Home Office or whoever, passport office, just saying, to confirm you want to do the name change. And I was like, sorry. And they'd done the paperwork to change my name to Brian O'Driscoll officially. And that was the confirmation call. And I was like, oh my God, because I'd given them all this information for the tour.
Why did that happen again? Like, why did you
rugby? Because they said I kind of looked like Brian O'Driscoll, so that was it.
So you went to the count. You went officially down to the place where you can change your name by default.
I didn't. They did.
They did.
They had it all set up. Yeah, it was good effort. Fair dues to them. But
yeah, good effort.
Daniela Westbrook, John.
She'd be.
Who else?
She'd be one of the fastest
Pinocchio
sniffers
classic.
in the West. Yeah, Pinocchio.
Can you imagine the whole thing in one?
Yeah, it's really hot again at the moment. It's like 27 degrees. I think here it's probably like 30 or something inside because I've not got any windows open, so there's no background noise. So I'm just sweating away. So what do we think here? Is this in Kalila territory? Is this in Lefroy territory? What do we think?
Definitely not Lefroy for me. I'm not getting like that lime sort of thing you usually get. Dumbo, good chat, Cliff.
It's quite creamy. It's quite creamy though, isn't it? I think
it is creamy. There's loads of of the barley still in it, and it drops off a cliff finish. It tastes clean, if you know what I mean. It's strong, but it's not really oily.
It's not crisp enough to be an Ardbeg. It's no way. It's like it's no way. It's not giving me.
Could be a lager.
Could be. Could it be something like the Lager 8?
Yeah, because it's punchy. It's certainly punchy.
I think it's
maybe the wee beastie. I haven't drunk that much, but I'm going to stick with. I
think it's too smooth to be the wee beastie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to stick with the Kalila. I did think red wine based off the nose, but it's not for me. That could be a nice tired Oloroso. I'm going to say.
Alan Smith says Steve Martin in the film Roxanne drinks with his nose.
Do you know what? I was literally thinking. I couldn't think of the name of it.
Steve Martin does have a big nose, doesn't he?
In that film, it's absolutely class. That's a great show. Right, so I'm saying Kalila tired Oloroso for Dram 1.
Okay, well, we have to pick an age and ABV. I don't know how much information Stav's put, but
7 years, 52%.
Look, I think in true teamwork sense.
Fuck teamwork. I'm always in competition.
I'm going to go then. Well, hang on. Are you saying that if you said Kalila, I can't say Kalila?
You can say what you want.
Right. Okay. All right. I think it's 10 years. It's about 52%. It's Isla, and it's either Kalila or the Freud.
So which one are you saying?
Well, I had a look earlier, so I know that. No, I didn't have a look earlier.
Yeah,
it's still sealed. Still sealed. Right.
Okay.
Fully sealed. I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to go for the Freud. But
so you're saying
I think
it probably. You're saying
I think
10. It could be a cask strength. That's a great show.
I feel like it's a mixture between Burbs and Sherry maturation.
Did you say 52% as well?
It's a little grassy on the nose as well. Yeah, 52%. Sort of 10-ish years.
There's loads of grass afterwards as well.
Yeah, so a lot of grass.
That is a lovely little dram. I like that. Right. Whatever it is.
Here we go.
Oh, are they all individual?
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Individual envelopes. It's like, yeah. So
yeah, he's definitely looked if this is a fucking 10-year-old.
I haven't looked. It was sealed.
Okay,
it was sealed.
Yeah, just opened it off camera. Fine.
Oh,
Go on.
He's absolutely pissing himself laughing. This is an independent bottler.
Yeah.
So this just proves that you don't need to go and get whiskey from Islay. This is, and to be fair, it's not that medicinal, but still, it's a W.D. O'Connell Whiskey Merchants, Bill Phil, single malt Irish whiskey, distilled Great Northern Distillery around 2018, matured in first fill ex-Burbs casks and re-racked into an ex-rum cask. It is quite rummy, actually, yeah. Single cask, 316, 128, bottle 170, ABV 59.4. It doesn't drink that strong, that's for sure.
59.4?
Yeah, it's a lovely little drop, isn't it?
What? Sav,
Thanks, Sam.
what a great
Thanks, Sav.
shout. And
that
in no way bland.
Sav's Grand Drams. Excellent.
To be sure, that's a decent little drop.
And that's wild. So not only is that Irish, it's Irish, right? Like it's got that creosote, sweet barbecue sauce. Maybe it's the grassiness. There's no biscuitiness in there.
I never would have said that was an Irish.
But hang
Even
on,
now tasting it, that's so
hang on though. I did say it's very creamy, didn't I?
Oh, are you trying to claw points back?
No, I'm wrong. But my point is that often Irish whiskies are very creamy. This is very creamy, but I mean,
that is a nice Sav of interest. How much is the? If I'm shouting, I apologize. I'm excited.
You are shouting.
You're talking
to him. You're talking to him like you're talking to some foreign person.
It's like I'm shouting across the universe to Sav. Sav, how much are they, my friend? How much was the bottle on that one? Decent. Paul Maines died in the chat. Good luck, James. Jordan, you with a Glenallachie 15. Glenallachie, your mate that works there. Trying to finish the bottle, but not tonight. I reckon you can do it, Paul. If you put your mind to it.
Cheers, Paul. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us again.
Yes, thank you.
So if you just joined with Paul, you've just missed us, humiliated us by calling an Irish Bill, is it? Oh, Bill Phil, W.D. O'Connell Whiskey Merchants.
Kill Bill.
Kill. Which is basically obviously peated, distilled at Northern Distillery, June 2008. So it's about 4 years old. We said it was like a 10-year-old Kalila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I love blinds. Like, there's no shame in getting things wrong. It's absolutely banging. Go on.
Before we move on to the next one, we now know what it is. We should have scored it. So I think I would have scored this a 4 out of 5. I think this is very good. Like, this for me would be a buy. It's really tasty. It's like not that complex, but it's so
probably
creamy.
would have gone with a 3 just because of that drop off, because it's
afterwards
super clean and not astringent. And I do like something that's oily and thick.
It's definitely a session dram. Did you see
whiskey 3?
Did you see that stuff that I posted? So
definitely not.
Of course you didn't. Mike is so competitive. He won't even. He's like that. He just ignores. He's probably got me on mute. So
I'm lip reading now, just like
listening to some other music in his ears. Oh, not another pod. Unbelievable. So Waitrose Lager. They do this lager. I don't even know what it's called. It's 0.0.
Oh, you're so tight. Is it Waitrose own?
I didn't buy it, mate. My wife bought it. What am I supposed to do?
Look at the bite.
What am I supposed to do? Chuck her out into the street and say, "Oh, I can't believe you bought Waitrose Lager. You're so tight." So anyway,
what's the car with it?
On the back of the label, it says something about clean and crisp, and it says this is sessionable.
Session lager at what percent? 7?
0.0.
Oh, 0. That's not sessionable.
I was going to have
that's livable.
I'm going to have 8 cans. Get lively
for breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all going off now.
Session lager 0.0. Oh, this is where marketing people get it so wrong. Like, you can't possibly call that sessionable. And then down the bottom it says for people who want to do more.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh to myself, because it would be wonderful if, like, Cans of Stella on the back said, for people who want to do less.
Yeah. For people who want to do more. Can you imagine that on your Zoom calls in the morning at work and just like, I'm just like really hitting it today. It's just going to be great. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Snab said, by the way, 75 quid a bottle, 90 euros. And Alan said it's probably AI doing the marketing. Good shout. Not a bad shout at all on that one. Should we go straight into Dram 2? Will we rapid fire in these?
Yeah, Dram 2, clear my palate. One of my favourite palate clearings I've ever seen was Soren at the Somerton Whiskey Festival. And he used a Coca-Cola to clear his palate and said it's that's the magic.
I mean,
just strip the inside of your mouth of everything clean.
I bought full fat Coke by mistake this week.
Right.
Oh my God. When was the last time you had a full fat Coke?
Only if I'm hungover, like really bad. It's either a milkshake or a full fat Coke. Depends.
I was in heaven. It's kind of rekindled something that I'd shut down a long time ago.
Dram 2. Nice nose
Let's
on it.
Let's go all Gerard Depardieu.
Yes.
Where is Mr. Smedley, John saying?
Bert's our number one fan. He's probably never listened to a pod episode. Alan Smith is saying probably Waitrose probably got AI to the marketing, which is quite possible these days. Yeah. And I don't know. Someone should nudge Bert Smedley, if that is his real name, and ask him. It's not. And ask him into the ask him to join with the cats from his own bothy.
Oh, mate,
that's decent, isn't it? I feel like I've smelt this one before.
It's just banging food vibes for me, like an orange, some sort of creamed orange dessert. I can't.
Oh, it's quite fizzy on the palate, isn't it?
I haven't gone in yet. Brian will be shouting at you. You're diving ahead.
What? Sorry, we need to just say. I actually didn't pay any attention to whether it was beading up when I poured it because I was too busy. We're too busy trying to get this right.
So see if you can get the beads on the glass compared to the beads of sweat on my head.
Yeah. No.
Oh my God. Do you know what this reminds me of?
Whiskey. Go on.
Rum.
Right, yeah, that was one of your finest moments.
I still don't give a shit.
Yeah,
it was the nicest
funny.
drama of the night. Complete.
Go on. What does it remind you of, Mike?
So it reminds me of I think it was a Whiskey Exchange did a special for April Fools once, and it was a Buckfast cask.
Right.
It's very similar.
It's a bit wacky, isn't it?
Iron brew. Yeah, there's just like refresher bar.
I see what you're saying about Iron brew and refresher
dandy
bar.
Bars, if you had those as well.
It's very fizzy, very citrusy, very sweet. Yeah, like sort of that sort of
stringent, good, juicy.
It's actually
drying and juicy. I know it's a contradiction, but that's like dries your mouth out and then flood a spit.
I feel like it's burning off the nostril hairs that I have not removed. It's quite strong.
I am very confused where this could come from.
For me, this one's too fizzy. It's so effervescent. It's literally like drinking a. It's just really fizzy, really kind of bitty.
Ooh, bitty.
It's got quite a burn on it. The finish.
There is a burn, a bit of a booze burn. I'd have gone.
The finish is hard to sort of work out. It's like all of that sweetness, and it just turns into kind of like a burn.
I do wonder if this is one of the Holly. Is it Holyrood? Edinburgh, the new ones.
What would you say is the overriding fruit in that beyond
orange.
The short? Yeah. Okay. So let's say orange, right? So at the end, you get that kind of orange and the burn, and that's kind of it, right? On the nose, like you said, you're getting.
There is a
refreshers bars, maybe some.
If you're walking in the hills, that's going to keep you warm. That's going to keep you safe. If zombies, petrol bombs, boom.
Yeah. Back to what episode was that when we did?
Oh God, I shall.
Like you wake up and there's one of those sort of end of world events going on. What do you do with your whiskey collection?
Back in. It was one of the first ones where we did the tiles.
And we said it'd be on a Tuesday because Tuesday is the worst day of the week, right? Always Tuesdays is the worst day. Well, Mike, for you, I don't know.
Craig David loves a drink on a Tuesday. Right. Where is it? Episode 23. Woke up on a dystopian Tuesday.
I feel like this is the kind of one, if we were doing this on blind drams, someone would say Mountain Dew on the nose, somebody else would say Dandelion and Burdock, somebody else would say Iron Brew. It's very hard. It's very sugary. It's just kind of like a punch in the face, really.
I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to say it's all orange, but I feel like it's a higher strength dram, and it's maybe an old bottling. So
yeah,
70s, 80s, something like that. And that's where that burn has crept in, just because they can develop over time on some old ones I found. So
it feels too strong. I mean, you don't think this is 40%, do you?
I don't think it's 40%.
You shouting 40, but I think it'd just be flatter. It's too lively. It's got too much kick in it.
Yeah, but I've had some old, like, do you remember the green bottles of the Passport whiskey? I think it's Passport. Picked up a few of those, and I'm like, Jesus, that's like petrol. But they were 40%. And I'm not saying this is petrol by any means, but it is burning sensation. And yeah, I'm going to say it's an older whiskey, maybe 43%. That's just now feeling a lot stronger because of time. And sod it, I'll say it's a Glenmorangie export from the 70s. There you go. That's my shout.
That's wild.
That's wild. It's out
what
there.
I guess that is.
Yeah. I know it's not right.
I don't think
they exist.
But there's no kind of soapy note in it. It's just burn and orange and fizziness. I honestly, Sav, thank you. I honestly have no idea. I'm going to be guessing off nothing. I'm going to start and say that I think that it is a badly made whiskey at...
Please be one of the bottles he's raved about. Please.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Be my favorite whiskey. I'm going to safely say this isn't a Tamdu, but sometimes if you get very high ABVs in single casks, they can just be wild, can't they? And they can just be bad. I don't know.
Cool.
I'm going to say this is youngish. This is between 3 and 5 years old. Even though I don't get a lot of kind of cereal notes or anything like that, it's just so hot. And I don't get a lot of other flavor. And it's not vegetal. So this is not vegetal. It's not. I don't think it's a bourbon cask for me.
Unless the cask was aged outside in Belfast in the 80s.
I'm gonna say this is some sort of red wine cask. This young red wine cask. The other thing is, it's not very full-bodied. It's still quite thinnish. Would you say, Mike, or do you think I'm wildly off there? It's punchy, but it's not.
No, I think it's just a really old sort of straight-up bourbon blend. That's my show. But go for it. I'm locked in as incorrect.
I'm getting different sweet stuff around those. Actually, I do think it's really interesting. It's just that it's wild on the palate. I don't know. I'm going to go. I've no idea on distillery. I'm going to go English. I'm going to say it's English, something hot and young, red wine cask. That's it. That's all I can do. I think it's like 55%-ish.
I don't think we need to worry about opening this one on camera. Let's just get the reveal out.
All right, here we go. So number 2.
Is it Glenn Alecki, your mate?
Whilst this better not be like Dunvilles. It better be Dunvilles or something like that. Here it is. Before I open it, might just have a quick look at the comments and see what people are saying. I'll have a wee read.
We are saying, what are we saying?
Do you know, we should just go Irish with everything.
Good. Yeah. Ben's Whiskey with Molly saying it's Sav. It's going to be an Irish whiskey.
Yeah. Ben, annoyingly, you're obviously right. So, spoiler alert, it's another Irish whiskey.
Cliff has said it tastes like a kicked beaver.
Hey, hang on. I was going to save this for the pod, but I'll just say this now anyway. But he didn't kick the beaver. The beaver was just resting its face on Mike's foot.
No, I kicked the fucking beaver. It was attacking me.
No, okay,
it was like an episode of South Park. He's coming for us.
It's like in that episode of Father Ted. The money was just resting in his account. He didn't steal it. It was just resting in his account.
If it was a bear attacking me, no one would say anything. They got massive teeth. I'll give you shit.
This is Sav's Grand Drams number 2. This is a blender, 2 stacks Irish whiskey, Pillars of Creation, 2024 vintage.
Okay.
Cask 1. It says Dingle. Is that Dingle? Dingle cask 261. Well, I've gone on paper to say I don't rate Dingle that much when it comes to the ones I've tried blind, right? Cask 261 filled November 2013, single malt first fill ex bourbon.
Not blind, he loves them.
So I think this is two casks mixed together. So cask 1 is a Dingle from 2013, first of all, ex-Burbs. Cask 2 is an Edlinville cask 450, filled August 2016. Single pot, first fill, ex-Burbs. Cask 3 is a Killowan cask 004, filled May 2019. Did you want to pick something more complicated, Sav? There's a lot of information to read out. Single pot still, refill quarter cask, finished in a cream sherry butt ex Jerez cask something or other. Yeah, you've got doctor's handwriting, Sav, to be fair. Bottle 091 out of 300, 56%. The only thing I can claim to have got roughly right was the ABV. Beyond that, nothing.
Well done.
It's I would say that this is blending not gone right.
We've got some blind drams left over and we've just poured them into an infinity bottle. So not for me. Maybe a 1 out of 5 on that one.
Yeah, Sav's just saying 3 casks. Yeah, it was indeed 3 casks.
Yeah.
I would give that, probably a 1 out of 5, I think, as well.
Someone will love it. Not this man.
No.
Right.
So, should we do Blind Dram 3 now? Or should we take a pause to talk about some of our favourite episodes? We'd actually like to ask you, if you've listened to the podcast, what episodes have you enjoyed?
I'd hope you have if you're here.
Yeah, it would be random if you haven't listened to the podcast. But if you listen to the podcast, thanks very much. We really appreciate it. And let us know what your favourite episode is in the chat to date so far, because we've never asked this question. I can start and say one of my favourite episodes for sure was the Superpowers one, I think. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Throwing it out. I think Luke Patience, definitely one of my favourites.
But that was one of my... Go on. What was it?
I love that. It was just... Luke is such a lovely bloke. Like,
he was a lovely bloke.
You meet humans now and again. And
humans? You're like, instead of robots?
Yeah. Right. And you go in, that's a nice human being. That is a person that would do anything for you. He's just not got a bad bone in his body, and just a good chat. I really liked what they were doing. People moan about the pricing or whatever, but fucking who gives a shit? It's a new indie bottling company.
For like 40-ish
it's bottles. A business. They have to make money, and it's young, and they're doing wild shit. So yeah. I will be buying more of those bottlings. But
that had one of my favorite moments in it, which is when we were asking Luke about the Olympics and what he does. You know, the specifications, like, isn't your boat 470 long? And he said in succession something about men's double-hander and something else. And I just remember thinking, this guy's been at Olympics. He's like a silver medalist. I absolutely can't laugh at that. That's very childish. Yeah. And I just remember like gripping my leg, like holding onto my leg, like, don't laugh, men's double-hander, don't laugh. And they started talking about length, and I was like, oh, don't. There's like
so many easy opportunities.
I was like, it's such a cheap joke, but I want to say something. Right?
Yeah. Alan Smith said, Duncan, can you say Dalywan, please?
Yeah, Dalywan. Dalywan.
The Dalywan.
So one of my favorite podcasts is nothing to do with whiskey. It's called FML FPL. It's a fantasy football podcast. Two Americans or Canadians. I'm actually not sure. But I just find them really entertaining, and they mispronounce stuff, and they have nicknames for like every single football player, to the point where even though I listen to almost every episode ever, sometimes I still need to rewind and try to figure out what the football player is they're talking about.
That's because you're not a football fan. You're pretending.
No, because they have such niche things, and that made me think that we should, on the pod, have whiskey distilleries that we intentionally mispronounce. But obviously, honestly, we do mess up a whole bunch of them just because like we're chatting and it's, you know, difficult sometimes, right? Me. So Dalywan has become one of the ones that we say wrong.
Yeah. What was one of my other ones that I enjoyed? The Welsh podcast when we had Sean on, just because I think it was batshit crazy when we got to try that Coles whiskey.
Oh, I loved that because I knew nothing about Welsh whiskey, and
I knew. Well, I thought I did, but clearly not.
I knew nothing about Welsh whiskey other than like Penderyn. And then he took us on this whole tour, and by the end of it, I really knew about Welsh whiskey. And as you said, the Coles was wacky.
Yeah,
and he knew little facts about each place. He was very knowledgeable. Sure.
That was, for anyone's info, episode 54, Enter the Welsh Dragon.
Enter the Welsh Dragon, yeah.
And I still want to get some coals and age it. Like we talked about another one, like maybe trying to get it in some cherry wood or something. We'll see, because that'd be good little experiment, and good to just share something I can't call whiskey with people. But yeah, that'd be good. Dram 3.
Also, we should say thanks very much for liking the thing. This is so new to us. We don't, we're like just kind of exploring it, and we are reading your messages as they come in. I think that what we're going to do is so if you have a favorite episode or a favorite moment from the pod, let us know, because we'll be interested. I mean, genuinely, we'll be interested. And what have we done now, Mike? 70 episodes or something? 69 or something?
I think we're on 69, dude.
69, dude. Which is a lot, like 69 hours, plus all of the editing. And shout out to Mike. Mike does majority of the editing. I mean, the majority of it. So, very grateful to Mike for doing the majority of the editing. And we've also had to learn as we go on. Like, do you remember the early days, Mike, where like the audio wasn't very good? And then we have guests on, and we really want the guest on, and their audio is pap. And what we've learned is the more famous somebody is, like, so Paul Hawksby, great guest, legend. Such a great guy.
Lovely bloke.
Like, because he goes into a studio.
Professional broadcaster, works and talks about every day. Just went,
rocks up, plugged in. He's like, "Is this all right, lads?" We're like, "I guess okay, yeah." All right, Paul. And then Colin Hampton-White recently, same thing. Like, he's on TV on Amazon Prime doing the Three Drinkers. And so what
produces, does his editing.
I can only expect if we ever get somebody actually like biblically famous on, they're going to do it from a dustbin or something, like speaking into their phone. Like,
yeah. Or do you remember Luke's audio? I know I'm like proper man crush, Luke's audio was like immense. Better than ours, hands down.
Luke had the best hair and the best audio of any guest. Fact.
Best hair and best audio. Right, we've got some comments from people. Let's have a look. Alan, my wife started teacher training this year. Makes me laugh. Each time she says it wrong. Yes, mispronunciation is great. Excellent.
Yeah.
Sam Swindles, the episode with Michael Henry was brilliant. The distillery editions. Michael could have geeked out for hours, and I think we could.
I think he wanted to educate us.
Yeah, we could have done a series.
He wanted to educate us as well. He was like, because we said, Michael, we ask every guest, is there anything you'd like to talk about? And the vast majority of them just go, no, it's fine. Michael was like, yes. There's several things I would like to talk about.
Loads I want to tell about.
I want to talk about Irish whiskey, and I want to talk about this, and you're going to listen.
You absolute clowns. Shut up. I'm going to educate you.
But in all fairness, Michael was the only guest that's come on, and we were like, okay, he's listened to a lot of the episodes. He was like, and there was this, do you remember this? Do you remember that? And so we were like, we really enjoyed the episode with Michael, and it was great for him to reference stuff that we've already chatted about on the pod. So shout out Michael. Michelle Henry. And also, he's the only guest that's got a full-on nickname.
Yeah, proper nickname. Well, Enos the Penis now from
Glen Murray. And that's Ian from Glen Murray, yeah. That was his own fault.
It's his own fault, yeah. He came up with his own nickname, and gone company-wide, which was good. Yeah. Andy Pierce has said, Claire Vulcan's episode recently, it's mad that she made herself enjoy whiskey. Yeah, she sort of threw herself and studied the process. So very rarely seen, but it's paid off clearly. Yeah. And John from Chingford has said the episode where Mike pronounced Aldgate Station like he's Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Aldgate. You gave me a really hard time for saying VAR that time, didn't you? As well.
What, instead of VAR?
VAR, yeah.
Missed the football over there. Yeah, let's put it on VAR. Sorry.
I feel like, there's no police to tell you how to pronounce stuff. So I'm the kind of person that when I was younger, I would sing the lyrics to a song wrong. Yeah. And just say that I prefer my lyrics. I just sing them like that. Who's to say you do things how you want to
say it's wrong? The person
not who's to say it's wrong. It was definitely wrong. It wasn't how the song was. But, when you start singing them in that way, you just get used to it, and it is what it is.
I need to put a disclaimer out, by the way.
Go on.
Dram 2 might ruin my world record attempt later because my mouth is so dry now.
Yeah, it's really dry. Yeah, like so dry. So, shall we do Sav's Blind Drams?
We can't call them bland now after Dram 1.
No, not after 2. They're opposite of bland.
Yeah, let's go and nose.
Cheers, all. Cheers, Mike. Here's to the first YouTube live, my friends. Ding.
Hopefully that came out.
Did. It's very loud.
Ooh.
Ooh, again, it's very strong.
That's nice. That's very orchardy. That's a word. Chalky. Good.
It's more
Orchard chalk.
It's more peary for me.
So, yep, orchard.
Yeah, but I mean, orchards grow other things. It's like a coverall.
Go on. What else do they grow?
Well, apples and pears. But apples are very different to pears. Have you ever?
I've got loads of apples and pears in the house, mate. I live in a townhouse.
It's quite perfumey as well. Sort of perfumey, peary, quite strong.
Massive,
alcohol.
like those Parma Violet sweets.
Yeah.
Right, let's try. I didn't know that much about Irish whiskey because I'm assuming this is now Irish. Everything's Irish.
Cliff says, "Mr. Lover Lover." What's that from?
Lover.
Mr. Lover.
They call me Mr. Bombast. I know you did a song, didn't you? Oh, Cliff did a song.
Yeah. Oh, so massive shout out to Cliff. So Cliff.
Oh yeah, we have to.
Cliff does a bunch of the music for the pod, and my favorite clip. So one of my favorite podcast moments, period, in all 69 episodes, was when Cliff did the Elton John song "Candles in the Wind," and there was the line where like the candles are like
candles down my chin.
Candles down my chin. And I was actually having a coffee at the time when I was listening to that, and I spat it out. Like the candles down my chin. That was it, wasn't it?
I'm still not over that, by the way. I still get the desire to just munch on a candle, not like a citronella or a scented one, just a normal old candle. Just want to have a little nibble.
Do we think Sav could have gone 3 of 3 for Irish here? Because this isn't very creamy. Yeah.
It's got not the fact that I'm saying it is on taste, but based on what he's done.
Right. This one's quite orangey again on the palate. It's quite nice.
Hell yes.
It's very sweet again.
Astringent at the back, but not like a burn.
Pears, creaminess, some orange oils.
Drops off a little bit, not much of a finish.
Yeah, there's not much to finish at all, is there, really? Just kind of more alcohol, really. Again, I wouldn't have thought this is very old, but what do I know? Nothing, according to the first 2 drams. So.
Almonds. There you go. Right on cue. Fun fact, pecans, walnuts, and almonds are also grown in an orchard. So
thank you. Who said that?
Ben.
Thanks, Ben. So when people say orchard, they could mean
orchard nuts.
They could mean nuts as well, couldn't they? I'm currently watching something with Billy Bob Thornton in. I think it's called Goliath, and I'm on the series where they're using all of the water because almonds are so water intensive. They take tons of water to actually keep the crop going, and then people who drink almond milk, it's washed in, again, thousands of liters of water. So just have a cashew instead, people. Have a cashew or have
cashew milk.
Don't have to have milk. Just have something else. Just have.
We got Sav on milk options. Sav, what else can we have?
I think before Sav says anything and we can't hear him, before he messages, before I look at my phone, I feel like Sav's a black coffee man. I can't imagine Sav drinking oat milk.
Unsweetened soy.
No, he'd be
to be fair, I do love a Starbucks soy latte.
Right.
Because it's sweetened. It's just like,
I've given up on all those over-the-top sugary coffees these days. I'll just write it off. Alan says Mike would not spit out the candles. That's probably true. And orchard nuts. Andrew Pierce says new tasting note, orchard nuts. Yes, new tasting note. So when we say it's got orchard notes, could mean anything.
It's a view into another world of editing there. Police cars permanently going past Duncan's house.
Yeah, I'm on a busy road.
Where's Leo?
I
have not heard his pause.
He's just to the left having a sleep.
Is he recovered?
Yeah, he's fully recovered. Leo hurt his paw. I think he managed to damage his paw somehow and it got slightly infected, so I had to take him to the vet. And this is really annoying. I don't know if anyone else's dog has done this. Actually, Ben mentioned his dog has done it. That's Whiskey with Molly. So Leo was slightly getting better, but still pretty bad. He wouldn't put weight on his paw. I was having to carry him out, put him on the grass. He was just looking at me like a potato. Like, he just literally sat there, I can't do anything. I'm like, you must need a wee by now. Usually he'd have a sniff. He was like, no, I can't do anything. So I carry him back inside. Then I'm carrying him out again, like 3 hours later. I carried him into the car, put him in the car, carried him into the vets because he wasn't putting weight on his paw. It goes into the vets. They go out back and have a look at him. Vet comes out, says, this is when I wonder if dogs can understand what we're saying. Vet says, oh, we probably grass seed. We should probably cut into his paw to find out. I said, well, what's the alternative? He said, well, just take the meds for a little bit and see how he is in 5 days. So I said, he's already slightly better. How much is it? And the vet said, oh, well, just check on that for you. I was like, that's going to be expensive. He's like a calculator.
Let me just fuck it out.
Yeah.
Let's look at what shoes is he wearing? What watch has he got on?
£400. I was like, before he said the price, I was like, how long would it take? He was like, about 5 to 10 minutes. £400 in 5 to 10 minutes. Name me another occupation where you can get £400 in 5 to 10 minutes without
Sparky.
Yeah, Sparky. Okay. So anyway, I said, no, we'll just take the meds. Hasn't had any of the meds yet. Carry him from the thing into the car, put him in the car, get home, jumps out, tots across the car park, goes, lifts his leg up, has a wee. I'm like, where was that before I spent £92 on medication?
I love it. Absolutely love it.
And I've heard stories from other people. Like, dogs, that's exactly what dogs do. They take them into vets, they panic, they say, right, I need to get better. This is serious.
I love it. Absolutely. Right, Dram 3, we have strayed. Oh, hang on. Before we go into Dram 3, let's check the comments. Cliff, yes, your musical talent. Messing about. He's not messing about. He's definitely not messing about. He puts some thought into it. He loves it. Cask and Pear, black coffee is the way to go. Sav says espresso and green tea.
I definitely had to have done as a green tea, man.
Most eco alternative for dairy is oat milk. I tried making my own oat milk. Bloody difficult. Ruined. Loads of towels. Just easy to buy some. Don't bother. Another profession where you can make £400 in 5 minutes. McAllen distiller.
Quite easy. Okay, McAllen. I thought someone was going to say something else there. That's safe, McAllen. Okay, fair enough.
Right, Dram 3. I like it. It is I'll score it 3 out of 5 again. Perfectly decent whiskey.
It's a bit because it's quite floral on the nose. I know you said palm. Do you say Palmer Violets?
Palmer Violets, yeah. But to me, it's getting fruitier. It gets like this, not black currant, maybe black currant. Super intense, sort of like dark.
I don't think it's a million miles away from some sort of like Loch Lomond with the finish type thing. It's a slightly high ABV. I think it's a 2 or a 3 for me out of 5. It's hard to say. Now, Mike, how old do you think it is? What ABV do you think it is? And what are you going to go for in terms of region, age, and distillery?
Region, island, easy, done.
Yeah, well, he'll have harpooned us. The third one won't be island, but I'm going to say island as well. Go on.
Age.
Not creamy.
6.
Right.
Nothing but oak.
Oak. You getting oak,
yeah.
are you?
No, oak casks, just normal ex-burbs.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blending in Ireland.
I like it. Good whiskey. That's all I'm going to go with.
What do you get on the finish?
An empty glass.
No. There's more. Again, it's more of the kind of pear, the orangey notes, a bit of Palmer Violet. It's very much the same throughout the dram. The nose, the palate, and the finish don't really change. And
it's all.
I'm gonna say it's like around 50%. It's a little hot, but it's at 50%. I'm gonna say it is again Irish. No idea on the distillery then in that case. I don't know. It's quite orangey, so I'm gonna say I quite like it. I'm gonna guess Dunville's because it's orangey and Dunville's. They had when we did a flight of Dunville's, there was a lot of kind of orangey notes going on in it. I agree with Mike. It's more of a kind of Burbs cask. Maybe there could be a little something else in there, like Burbs with something else.
It could be like a dessert wine finish because there is like a super sweet note going through it. But for me, much higher ABV, probably 58%.
Okay, you've got to go.
Controlled.
I'm not sure. So, should we have a look?
Yes.
Right. And then we thought we might sort of have a wee chat about what our favourite whiskies of the year have been so far. Here we go. Last one. Thanks, Sav, by the way, for these blind drams. I can't remember what I gave you in. Oh, okay, interesting.
I want to say it's Scotch.
No, it's Irish. So yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, really interesting. All right, so it is Writer's Tears limited edition Irish whiskey, Japanese cask finish. It's so it's bourbon, but with the finish. It's 55%. It is pot and malt. It's a limited edition, cask 1731, and it's Mizunara.
Nice.
Mizunara finish. It doesn't say the age, so I presume it's a sort of
for Naz.
So yeah, probably sort of 6 to 10 years old ish.
NAS.
Yeah, that's quite good, that one. I don't the other Mizunara casks that I've had, not totally the same as that. I feel like that probably hasn't been in that cask for that long. Maybe just like dipped in and taken out. It's much more of the bourbon.
Someone's dipped the tip.
Yeah, it's like I remember the Loma Mizunara cask. Much more of the flavors coming through. I think I've tried like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 now. This has been the 6th sort of, and yeah, it's a hint of spice, not much spice. It's quite good.
It's good. I'm like I said, 3 out of 5 for me. Easy.
What's your favourite of the 3, Mike? What would you say?
I think 1 for being so batshit mental.
Yeah, 1 was mental. So
like, if I want to chill out, 3 all day long. If I want to think about whiskey, 1.
Yeah, Sav just confirming it's definitely Naz.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Nice.
Thank
you, Sav.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sav. Here's to you, big man.
I need to pour something else. I'm going to let those chill and go back to them in a bit.
So what's one of your favourite whiskies of the year so far then, Mike? What would you say?
I'm trying to think what I've bought.
Also, for the guys that are still listening in, thank you. Let us know what your favourite whiskey of the year has been.
Yeah. Right? I think it's going to have to be my SMWS.
Right.
Or...
Yeah.
We banged on about it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the SMWS is the Berrylicious.
Yeah, Berrylicious, yeah.
Balmenic bottling, 15 years old. Stunning dram. Love that. And then...
Yeah, I'd agree with the Cooper's Choice.
Spanish oak cask finish.
50%. Yeah. That should become a core range for me.
It's
just incredible.
And can we say the Phoenix Rising, is that this year? I'm trying. It must be, surely. Because I know we had the samples.
Yeah.
Christmas last year.
I think someone's mentioned this Bunner, although maybe I'm misunderstanding. I took this Bunner to Summerton Club. This is one that was polarizing people. So I'll have a wee.
Your dog shit Bunner from Boysdale.
It's not dog shit, but it's not worth 125 quid. I mean, for sure. So you can see it there. It's 25-year-old Bunner at 44%. I've poured myself a wee dram of it now to remind myself. I agree with Mike on the Cooper's Choice, and I think probably. Usually, I would say one of the Glen Scotia Festival editions, but the Fino one, as much as I liked it, it wasn't peated, so that kind of rules. I enjoyed it, but the peated ones are usually make it in for me. The Bordeaux one didn't make it in for me to favourite one of the year. I think other than that, maybe like the Loch Lomond Chardonnay cask, and I've got a bottle of the best English,
best whiskey in the world,
best whiskey in the world. But actually, some of my favourites have been some of the SMWS releases as well, like the some of the bourbons over from America. I think
the rums.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's Scotia. It's hard to say, but I was trying to think of something that's like regularly like something that's like had a big moment this year.
Glasgow Manzanilla cask. Yes.
Yeah, that was really good. That was
definitely.
That was your favourite of the year, Cliff. I don't think that's my favourite, but it was one of the most interesting whiskies I've tried this year. For sure, right?
I think, well, so far, Whiskey of the Year isn't going to be released till next year, which was the
oh my days, the
Ardno
yeah, that was
Society bottling.
Yeah.
Dram 3 on the night, which I've got somewhere. I've still got my samples.
I think the problem is sometimes
I
buy bottles. I don't always open them immediately. I think so. One of my favourite whiskies I've opened this year is Raisin Toffee Jam, which is a Glenlivet just behind me, 16 or 17-year-old single cask Glenlivet. But I think technically it came out at the end of last year. I can't fully remember, but maybe
go to VAR.
Go to VAR. Maybe I didn't open it for like 2-3 months and it was into this year. I think that's part of the problem is when you've got so many bottles knocking about, it becomes really hard to sort of remember which ones came out when. And actually, one of my favourite bottles of the year is a bottle which is just Ben Nevis 10 from like 2013 to 2015. I've drunk a whole bottle of it. I've got another bottle in. I love it. It's chalky, dirty, oily, fruity, some sherry notes.
Special mention. As always.
Yeah, Prohibition, 100%. Yeah,
has to be there. Has to be there.
What's everyone got in their glass this evening? We've got. Hang on, let me just read it. So Cliff said Glasgow Manzilla. Fair enough. Sam Swindle said, okay, bottling. Sam Swindle said the Circumstance MOM is delicious and good value at 45 quid. Now I had a check on Master Malt the other day because I heard that they're all selling out. But Master Malt still has 3 Circumstance. They have a boutique one, they have their own brand one, and they have the ones from the distillery directly. So if you fancy buying a bottle of that, Master Malt have all 3 bottles, or 3 bottles to try. Blackfen says, at the cheaper end of things, I've been through several bottles of Anok 12. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I think that's 40%, isn't it? Is it 43?
Who knows?
Jeff Whiskey says, sadly, only making it back now. Cheers to seeing your faces. That's all right, Jeff. We appreciate you coming on. Thanks so much. We should have worn sunglasses for Jeff. And actually, we'll do a bottle slap for Jeff quickly. Here we go. I'll bottle slap an LB. There you go. All right, Jeff.
Get it. I'm going to try and get it up to the mic.
There you go. Sav has taken a picture of the 3rd bottle to share. Alan Smith says, Cliff could shout, got another try of that at the Fringe. He'd be talking about the Glasgow Manzanilla there. And Cliff says, Callum and Kate presented an amazing Linkwood from B&S Blind Drams to the Awakening. Nice. If you're mentioning Kate, we have to say,
yeah, huge loss to the whiskey world. Callum, you're probably not watching. If you're watching this on the review, then hope you're doing well, buddy. We are all here for you. You need anything at the moment's notice, let one of us know and we'll get something sorted out for you. So raise a glass just to Kate.
To Kate and
the microphone again.
Callum, we love you.
And all right. Yeah.
All right. Whiskey of Molly, Robinson's orange and pineapple in my glass. That's because Ben knows he's going to see us in London soon, so he's got to have at least 7 or 8 days off the booze just to get his liver ready. That's why. Yeah,
I feel like that might be roles reversed. I need to prep for that.
Sav says, still haven't opened my Prohibition, waiting to get my signatory Glen Tocker's watch. Favourite so far is this Writer's Tears.
Bottle it's like 25 quid. Just get it open.
Yeah.
Buy a second one open. I always have one open.
Yeah, 100%. Emma Alistair says MOM have the Circumstance 40-day spirit. Fair enough. Okay, that as well. And Cliff says in his glass he's got 3 times Cragganmore Drivers Drams. They are okay. Cliff, we're always with the words.
They're only drivers drams if you're having like the one. You can't just stockpile them and then just go, yeah, I'm driving.
Cliff knows all the words.
I've had 17 drivers drams tonight, but I'm love it.
Yeah.
I did pour something special as well, just because it was the first one, which I've tucked away, and I'll have that before we sign off later, but I'll just bring it out, and it is... excuse looking at my fucking man boobs.
In that case, I will support this.
Can't wait for that to kick in. There you go. 34-year-old, 1982, Milton Duff, old and rare, platinum from Hunter Lane. 50.8%.
Very good.
Birth year whiskey.
You've tried this one, Mike. I've poured. So The bun is still not great, to be honest. That bun, it's just a single cask.
Dog shit bun of Boysdale. Yep.
No, it just doesn't have much about it. It does taste like an older whiskey, but it does taste like a good older whiskey. So I've poured a Berry Brothers and Rudd 3978, 21-year-old, 2016, 1996. Why were the mid to late 90s such good, or mid 90s so good for so many bottles? Anyway, so this is Burbstockers. I love it. Super waxy. So I poured a wee drop of that. I'll have that in a second.
Love it.
I do love it. I love it very much. Very much. Is it for the guys that are on the pod now at the moment? We have to come up with all of our ideas pretty much ourselves, which takes much mind power. So,
as you can see, Duncan's on the spot and just firing.
I'm absolutely lightning today. So, if you guys have any things that you'd really like us to do on the podcast, feel free to let us know. We will consider them. Yeah.
Yes. We're always up for ideas. Like, the more suggestions, the better. The less brain work we need to do. Oh, yeah. That's the way to go. That's why it's easier when we got guests. You're like, come on.
You just turn up. That's
You're doing it for us. Like, you're doing
I loved the hot pear balloons episode.
Hot pear balloons. Good.
Yeah, love it.
I was chuckling when I was editing. So
yeah,
it's always a good one. Because normally they're like, you always like text me like a couple of days, they go, do you reckon that was all right? And I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's like, it'd be a good pod. That one, I said, I like that. That was a good pod. Chuckling away. Kicking a beaver made it for me.
Do you know what we haven't done in a while, though, is we haven't done Whiskey Room 101, something you would banish from the world of whiskey, you would banish. We haven't even asked it to a lot of guests. Sometimes we ask guests what they'd change about the world of whiskey, but we sort of stopped asking guests what they would get rid of from the world of whiskey.
Was it from fear of being sued by the BBC over plagiarism?
No, you can't. Yeah, they don't own that.
One program might be attached, but two.
Yeah.
Blackford saying they're drinking Lacheg 2017 Virgin Oak. John from Chingford's been drinking I'm going to fuck this up. McKeel Toya Turbo, the one you bought the other day. How do you pronounce that? Anyone?
Well, the Glenleckie one, yeah. It's Mekil Tour, isn't it? Mekil Tour.
Mekil Tour?
Yeah, Mekil Tour. Glenleckie,
that one.
Yeah.
Who else? And Cask and Pears drinking Loch Lomond single cask. It's 2014 9-year-old Sutton's finish. And said he's loving Pudding Island drams. So
turn around.
Yeah. Like Whiskey Molly, you don't have a writing team behind you. You surprise me. Fuck you, Ben.
That's outrageous, Ben.
Just because you're not moderator, because we don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Ben was like, can I be moderator? We're like, Ben loves power, by the way. It's all about the power.
He didn't ask. I think he was trying to help. But actually, I don't think we haven't been invaded.
We should say thank you to Ben as well, because not only has Ben on the pod a few times, but in addition to that, Ben gave us the kick up the arse to do the live. So basically, Mike wanted to do the live. Ben was like, you should do a live. Yeah, Mike wanted to do it from day one. And I said, we should just make sure we can actually do a podcast well first. Like, don't stretch ourselves. And then Ben recently said, you should really start doing YouTube. And so I was like, okay. Not like Mike hasn't said it, but I needed a nudge. So thanks to Ben and to Mike. And so this is the first one. So we appreciate everyone joining and we'll see how it goes. What are you thinking about, Mike? Once a month or something?
This is loose. Don't get me wrong. This is not planned. We're just sort of seeing how things are, seeing your feedback.
Just in case people thought this was organized content. It's not.
Fuck off. Look, I've got a little
you put work in
on the bottom.
Yeah, you put work in. I know that, yeah.
I had to try and learn OBS in a week. Yeah, who knew that?
Oh, man. This Glentockers is so good. I would love to get hold of some more of this.
What would you do to it?
I just go to sleep with it. I just cuddle it. Nothing sinister. I just cuddle up with it. Myself and Paul. You know Paul. You've met Paul, right? Cigar Paul.
Quattro. Fire up the Quattro, Paul.
Fire up the Quattro, Paul. Yeah.
He's not in the chat. Wanker. Where is he?
He'd be getting down with a lady somewhere. So Paul, Paul and me have bought, I think, 7 or 8 bottles of this Glentockers between us, and I've drunk 2 now. This is on. I think I might have drunk 3. I think this might be my 4th, and he's probably got a couple left as well. You know a whiskey's good when you go back and buy it again, even when it's not cheap. I think between 95 quid to 110 quid for all of the bottles.
It's a 96 stock, isn't it?
96 21-year-old, yeah.
Prime of Oasis. Are we going to talk about that?
Oh, are you going? I'm not interested.
I can't.
Your favorite band.
Fuming I was with Ticketmaster yesterday, because I was like, right, I guarantee there's people that jumped into like different computers, tried to get every gig. I went,
so good.
I'm just going to try and get Wembley, one gig, not interested in anything else.
Right.
And it was like, joined on my phone, bang
mate.
on 9. I was like, right, at least I'll be in there. I'll have a shot of tickets.
Right.
9:30. My phone's like, I'm not sure I'm actually in the queue. And then just like looked at it, it went, we're shutting down the app. You can't actually use your phone. You have to use it like a browser. I was like, oh. So I wasted half an hour. So I was already then joined the queue. 400 and something thousand people in front of me.
What's the point? Give up. I saw Ben talks about it the way that I think about it. I was like,
have you met me?
Yeah, several times.
I was there till like 11 o'clock at night and basically got tickets numerous times, but I'm not spending 500 quid.
Of course you're not.
Because where people are not checking out properly.
Because it was surge pricing because like the
wankers.
whole thing. Exactly. It's not worth it, is it?
No.
I once there was tickets that I could have bought to go and see Led Zeppelin when I was a student or something.
Jeff said dynamic price is a bigger scam than Macallan. Sav said Ticketmaster are total fuckers. Yes.
If you think about a band that you really, 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 really want to watch, right? So Led Zeppelin reformed for a bit, like, you know, basically part of the band reformed, didn't they? And they did a series of gigs under the Led Zeppelin brand, like one major gig, and you could buy tickets for it. I think it was 120-ish pounds at the time. And I love Led Zeppelin. My friends were like, "Oh, this is one of your favorite bands ever. You can go." I was like, "No chance. I'm paying 120 quid. It's a ripoff."
Yeah,
like
100%.
I can't get out of my head. Gig tickets shouldn't be more than about sort of 50, 60, 70 quid. If it's a festival, 120, 130 pounds. Now, everyone says to me, "Oh, times have changed." I don't care. I won't go. I don't care. I'll go and watch a band in Camden, or somewhere else in London for 10 quid or 15 quid.
Pay 20 quid a pint.
Because the prices of gigs at a pub and like local venues hasn't changed. It's only the prices of the big gigs that's changed because of Ticketmaster.
I said what calmed me last night was I downloaded on Sky Oasis at Wembley just before it got tore down. So that must have been 1998.
Right.
Maybe. And they were shite. Not being funny. They were rubbish.
Yeah, they don't do much on stage. They just stand still.
But then I did remember, that I saw that gig, if anyone could see it, back in 2005. Oasis, Foo Fighters, Razorlight, The Coral, and the Subways, all in one gig.
Foo Fighters? Foo Fighters worth watching.
Yeah, Foo Fighters, Oasis, The Coral, Subway. I'm like,
just whilst you're having a rant about the fact, did you or did you not get Oasis tickets in the end?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so that's why you're angry.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. So Cast Compare says, in my glass, Loch Lomond single cast 2014, 9-year-old saw turn finished. I don't remember if they said that or not. Cast Compare also says he loves Pudding Island Jams. Thank you. We like Pudding Island Jams as well. Whiskey and Molly. Ben says, you've proven you can do a podcast. Oh, you're just trying to make us buy you drinks.
Excuse me, you've got to do his accent.
I'm not doing his accent.
Right.
Yeah. Go on, then you do it.
Hello, I'm Ben.
I've got too much respect for Ben. Some of my friends, I've got at least one actual friend, and so one of my friends says he listens to the pod even though he's already into wine. So shout out to Alex. I don't know why he listens to the pod. He says it's entertaining. Up to him.
This is Duncan's friend that abuses me occasionally on voice note.
Yeah, so he knows a lot about wine, and I'm like, why does this pod? He's like, it makes me laugh. I'm like, fair enough. And he says that he says that Ben is one of the funniest things on the pod. He loves your sense of humor, Ben. So he says you should get you back on. He prefers it when it's just us or us and you. Jeff says, Jeff's still on. I thought Jeff gone to bed. Dynamic Price is a bigger scam than Macallan. You said that already. And Subways are a good band, to be fair. Subways, yeah, they are. Yeah, pretty decent. I'm just trying to think if there's any other whiskies that I've really, really loved this year. And it's so difficult on the
We've had so much.
So many. That's the problem. We've drunk too much.
Especially with the tweet tastings.
But is there anything that's been released like core range or anything that's been like Oh, yes. Okay. Does it count? The Glenmurray Rioja. That was released this year.
Yes.
We tried it way back, but that is the bollocks, that whiskey. The peated and the unpeated are two of the best whiskies I've tried in ages, the Glenmurray ones.
I have
100%.
it somewhere. I can see it. I can't be. It's
so good.
Down there. If you can see on camera, there it is. That was from Diego. Sherry Hound. Thank you, buddy.
Have you tried any of the new Isla ones, like any new lagers? I didn't try the rum cask one. Don't really go in for the new Arbegs. Oh, when was the bizarre BQ one, the barbecue one? That was banging, 75 quid. You can still get it. Yeah. Is that released this year? Because if that was this year,
I think it was older. I think it was older.
I'm not sure. I think it might have been early this year. I feel like it was probably like January, February time. Yeah. This is what I mean. It becomes so hard to remember exactly when whiskies were released, right?
That's because the only thing in my mind at the moment is price drops, because they are so widespread now. Like we had a WhatsApp going with someone, and it was talking about the gone from my mind, Lagavulin 8 is finally down to 38 quid. Price it should be. Should have been that price the whole time. Happily picked that up for 38 quid from Amazon, loads of other places.
Does well in blind. Does really well in blind. Yeah. Yeah. Cheaper than Phil Bill's, whatever it is, whiskey we tried earlier that tastes amazing. That's 48%. And it's amazing for an 8-year-old minimum age whiskey.
Ben said we need a spreadsheet. I did start making a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And I'm not that guy. I've tried.
That's still my favorite. So Brian was a great guest. Like, we talked about having Brian on for a long time.
Yeah.
And then eventually we did. He was a great
guest.
The
Isla road trip.
And it's still my favorite, like, lyrics that I've wrote. It's a line in the spreadsheet. It's a dram reviewed right. And now Brian's tracked it to provide data insights. And the last known entry was from Thursday night. And he's drinking it all for a, you can finish it off, line in a spreadsheet.
On a spreadsheet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We reluctantly started some sort of rough document to track guests that are coming on. And I genuinely, to this day, have no idea how many whiskies I've really tried, but I know it's way over 2,000 because you can sort of work it out on your average whiskey. Average whiskies tried and sort of your consumption and stuff. But it could be anything. It could be 3,000. It could be 2,500. It could be 3,500. I've no idea really. So
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All for you, for the podcast.
Yeah. Should probably get sponsored by like a hospital or something, or private healthcare. Thinking about it.
They'll be tracking who's watching this at some point, and then suddenly your life insurance premiums will go up. Well,
yeah,
we've seen that you're interested in.
That's exactly the reason you shouldn't buy stuff on Club Card. Like, I know we or like these cards because they track them and they sell on. Who was saying that to us? Was that?
I don't know, I'm just looking for my tin foil to make it.
That was Claire. That was Claire Vokins that was selling us that. Of course it was. It was 100% would have been Claire. I don't even have to think about it. If we were getting a lecture about not purchasing stuff and being tracked, it was definitely Claire Vokins.
Love it. I've got a slice of toast staring at me, Duncan.
Oh yeah, we should do that. Yeah, right. Go on then. You explain it, Mike. Yeah, no, you explain it.
So
we did promise.
I think I could be an Olympic handballer. Well, that's a lot. Hang on.
Handball.
I want crowd participation. Turn that around. That's barely toasted.
Mate, it's
that's
toasted.
like fresh.
Mate, if you want to be like that, we've got to measure thickness. That's not my fault, is it?
Look at the back of it.
Mike,
I got tiger bread.
Mike, I got
tiger bread that's toasted properly.
Mike,
let me see your bread, both sides. Not quite up to standard. No, turn around slowly.
I did. Mike, I'm not going to be
sleight of hand. I can
I'm
see
not
that you're still doing it.
Mike, I'm not toasting again. Mike, I did a dry run earlier, and one bite took me at least 5 seconds. So I can't possibly think I can eat this in less than a minute. So
you've so lightly toasted that there's moisture left in there.
Mike,
claiming you.
I did that deliberately. Now there's no technical rules. I thought about I was going to get to wind you up, like the smallest slice of bread I could find. Get you a spread. It's tiny. So this is just because we promised we would do it. So Mike said he could eat. We had this episode, and Mike said that he could eat a slice of dry toast in less than 3.57 seconds, which is, by the way, is a world record. I couldn't believe.
No, the world record was 8 seconds.
Oh no, that was it. You said it was 3
and
seconds.
I said
it was
3
8.5.
seconds.
Yeah, okay. So let's just do it then. There's no point timing it.
I'm gonna.
This is gonna be really embarrassing.
Just turn my mic off for a second.
No, I'll just go away from the mic.
The...
3, 2, 1, go. It's so hard. It's so hard. Whoever did it in 8.57 seconds is an absolute Jedi.
There's something wrong with you. Oh my God.
I bet that person has the nickname Wet Mouth. The nickname's probably Wet Mouth.
And this is like a fucking dog drooling.
I think it's harder than crackers.
Oh, so much harder than crackers. Honest or Malt coming out with you with quality content on day one of YouTube. No, I can't even finish a slice, let alone do that at a world record pace.
I'm going to finish it.
I'm not. I don't want to hear your mouth. God, Duncan, let's just everyone stop and watch Duncan. What did you get on the finish of your bread?
Just delight. It's over. Jeff Whiskey says, Jeff Whiskey says, Mike, you're doing well because you're eating tiger bread.
It's Warburton's though. It's not like it's not proper tiger
Mike
bread.
actually, Jeff actually, Mike struggled to find it under the mountain of avocados that they have in the kitchen. It's like a Ferrero Rocher tower, but made out of avocados. And the challenge for that is they because they can't eat them all. They have someone come and replace them like every couple of days just to make sure that they're like perfect, like in between that green and black sort of shade.
Do you know how long it took me to find something that wasn't like boutique sourdough? It's fucking ages.
Andrew Pierce says that my slice is bigger. I think that's fair enough. And I finished it. And Donna Pass Whiskey says he's poured a Balblero 03, the last of my old vintage bottles. Oh, here's to you, fella.
Huh.
Donna Pass Whiskey. Love that. Good man. Sav says, is it a dry finish? Yes, it was a very dry finish. And
it's not as dry as Dram 2, but it's close.
I don't know. Like so Mike has these sort of grand ideas. Like he's convinced he could be like handball world champion. He was convinced he could eat a slice of toast.
I could be a handball Olympian. I'm sorry, that's still going to happen. That relies on physicality.
I think you need some grounding.
Not the amount of drool your mouth produces, which you can't train for. I'm sorry.
If you're giving other absolutely shockingly bad world records that we can go for, feel free to recommend. But I knew that would be tough. I was tempted actually to put margarine on the underside of mine and just not tell Mike.
He didn't toast. You only toasted one half, so that's like.
I deliberately moved the toaster back to one of the lower settings. That's true.
Right. Let me just put this out there now as well. What do the numbers mean, Duncan, on a toaster?
Nothing. From my experience, and I've worked a lot of toasters, I'm going to tell you nothing because it all depends on the toaster.
Is it the intensity of the heat?
Are you trying to wind me up?
Nope. That is the timer.
Right. Okay.
Nothing to do. It toasts at the same heat the entire time.
Right.
It's just how long it takes.
How long it takes.
Yeah.
So always just set it to the left thing.
So when you're like, I'm going to put it up to 10 to make it quicker. No.
No, I'm not trying to believe that. This is a bit like, do you remember we had that discussion about precipitation and whether it was, when it says a percentage, like you look at the weather forecast, it says 31%. And it turns out it's not there's a 31% chance of rain. It's that 31% of your postcode is going to receive rain. Yeah. And then you have to look at the number of blobs. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Who's to say that the podcast isn't educational? I've learned stuff. Now, not much.
Michael Henry, I think.
Not much, but something.
Michelle
Henry.
Oh, dear God. Right. I'm taking... By the way, I'm not finishing all these whiskies that we're trying and drinking. I've got loads here. I've got shit to do tomorrow. Otherwise, it'd be absolutely steaming. But
Well,
what I am going to finish is the
Phil Bill.
Milton Duff 34, 1982.
I'm going to finish this Phil Bill that Sav sent. It's amazing. This rum cask finish, whatever. Sav says he's just killed the Mizunara. Well done, Sav. Great effort. You're a trooper. And Ben says the biggest lie in the world is the time your washing machine tells you is left on the cycle. Actually, no, there's a bigger lie than that. When you stand to wait for the tube in London, I don't know if this is like the same in other cities, and it says like the tube's going to come in 3 minutes. It absolutely never does. It's like with buses. They just put a time on it to placate you. They tell you
some
3.
Tourist wanker has got his backpack stuck in the doors one stop away.
They tell you it's 3 minutes and it never is. And then it's like 3, you know, and then about 4 minutes later it changes to 2 minutes. It's absolute bullshit. I would much prefer if they changed it instead of time and they told you how many meters or kilometers the train or the bus was away from you. I'd prefer that. I'd like to know where it is rather than how long it's going to take to get there, because the time is bullshit.
That is a prime example of what I was thinking with Dram 2. So, although it is 50.8%, there is a real burn within that, and it's just age. Sometimes they just get a bit.
Which Milton Duff is that? Is that the Hunter Lang one?
Hunter Lang, Old and Rare Platinum.
Is that the one that you didn't guess right on that blind with Paul? Or is that a different one?
No.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's the same series, but not. Yeah.
I've got a
lovely
question.
Loads of grapefruit, loads of orange, but still weird.
I've got a question for people though. So we haven't really come up with a way of branding this yet. We might just call it Honest to Malt Live Sessions, whatever it is that Mike's done. If you think there's a better name for it, and if you think there's something we should talk about on the next live, which should probably be in about 3-4 weeks or something like that, then yeah, let us know. Yeah, next time I'll try not to double book. Plus, if anyone's going to be at Glasgow Whisky Festival, any of the times,
Wales.
Wow.
Oh,
that was going to be in Wales.
London,
yeah. Whiskey
next
Exchange.
Weekend, Sunday.
But only on the 8th, only on the Sunday. We're not going on the
Saturday. Then Wales.
Yeah,
then Wales. The week after Glasgow.
But if you're in Glasgow, come see us 100%. We'll be there the whole time. Yeah.
And also, how dare you say no one's coming to Wales? I'm going to get Sean to hunt you down when he comes.
Yeah, sure. We'll see how many people there are in Wales. It'll be locals.
Wanker. Yeah. Look at such an English attitude. It's disgusting.
I know.
You got a lot of Scots here and Irish people.
I don't care.
You're the enemy.
I don't care, mate. I don't care.
Celtic people, come on. Wales and Glasgow. There you go, Andy. Yes. Fuck you, Duncan.
I still don't care. I'm going. That's all that matters.
Sam Swindles. I'm heading to the Wales Whisky Festival. Catch you there. Fuck you, Duncan.
Yes, Sam.
Everyone's coming.
Everyone, the whole world's going. It's going to be massive. It's the new #1.
Jeff wants to go. Come on, Jeff. Get a ticket. Cliff, you're more than welcome. You can sing with us.
You can bunk down on our floor, Jeff. The only festival that I truly have absolutely adored has been Kendal so far. I love Kendal. I mean, like, I've been to a few, but Kendal's actually banging. So I hear mixed things about Glasgow. I hear that it's amazing. There's so much stuff, but I also hear from like Cliff and Ben and other people that it's just too big. So I think with Glasgow, it's more about like going to like Edinburgh Fringe or something. It's more about just being at the mecca of like the main place where the most people go around the best whiskey in the world and seeing all of your friends, all the people you know. It feels like it's more just like the place to go to catch up with everyone once a year, right?
Did you see my message earlier? Hotel is booked.
Yeah, I saw that.
If you want to share rooms, bro.
Twin room, man.
Twin room.
We got
it's like close. It's close enough we can touch each other if you want to, just across the way.
just hold hands whilst we go to sleep.
Yeah, it was for the same price. I got 3 nights stay for the business rate that Libby said she could get.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind sleeping in a twin room. That's fine. It's
we can't bring the family. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Lara could be watching live.
Twin room with both the families. Yeah. We've both got children. So Mike's got, how old's Isla now?
How old is she? 11 months coming up to. Yeah.
And we've got Etta, who's 6.5 months, and Eva, who's 5 years old as of about a week ago. So we balance the pod with, well, some of us with work, but definitely Definitely.
Editing might take a knock in about a month's time.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, I just need to get as zen and relaxed as possible when you're editing the next 10. So what we've got here. So Alan's saying he's going to be at Glasgow. Excellent. We'll see you there, Alan. Hopefully. And Jeff's saying he'd like to go to Wales. He said that. Cliff's going Glasgow. Yeah. Cliff says he links Kendall and Fife for the best. Fair enough. And Alan says he's looking forward to Borderlands Festival. Where's that one?
What's that? I don't even know what that is.
And Ben obviously says Glasgow is class, but he is in Glasgow, so he's super biased, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like he basically Ben probably like
by them as well to say it.
Just walks across the road to
Borderland Music and Arts Festival. What?
Yeah.
Where is this? I don't know where that is. Anyway, no one wants to watch us YouTube. So yeah. Decent. I like it. If you're happy with the format, do let us know. Genuinely.
Yeah, I mean,
carry it on. We're what, 1 hour?
Here's an easy question:
1.5 hours?
Should we do more of these?
Dunk, you've muted yourself somehow. I think
I've muted myself.
I haven't muted myself. He says.
Can you hear me?
Oh no, apparently you're not. I can't hear you for some reason.
Okay, so should we do more of these? We'll have a crack at this for a bit, but should we keep this going? If we do, let people know, because it's all time at the end of the day. We enjoy it. We enjoy making. So to be clear, we really enjoy making the podcast. We've enjoyed this. You know, if we were seeing you in person, we'd have a dram with you. But it is all time, whether it's editing or recording the pod or doing this, you know, like families and everything. So if you think we should keep this going, let us know, and we will. And hopefully we'll see some of you in person soon.
Yeah.
And I think we should probably have one final drink and then cut it off, because it's Sunday night, right?
I think so. Sunday. We got shit to do tomorrow. But yeah. Quickly just checking the notes. Lots of people saying, yeah, it was fun. Keep it going. Alan said that festival is in Lockerbie. Decent.
Oh, Alan,
love Lockerbie.
Lockerbie. Oh, amazing. Okay, yeah, very famous for the wrong reason, sadly. It's true, right? Okay, no, it's famous for the wrong reason.
Holy shit!
It is though.
Lovely place,
Mike. I was in
red squirrels, nice countryside.
Mike, I was in
plane crash.
Mike, I was in Malaysia when the 3470 or whatever it is, or 370 went missing. I was in Malaysia with the team. Every day we're going, where is the plane? People knew people.
On the plane?
I wasn't on the plane.
I was at home when it went.
I was in the country. People knew people. Look, what we're saying here. So we've got Alan saying, as long as you guys enjoyed it, yes, we enjoy it. 100%. Yeah. We enjoy doing this. We wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do it otherwise, because we've got other stuff to do. Whiskey, when Molly's saying, give it a thumbs up. Jeff saying, enjoyed this, guys. Props on mastering. OBS. That's Mike. Props to Mike.
That's the software we're using now, Duncan.
Yep. I knew that. And Sam says, great first episode. Keep it coming. Thanks, Sam. Alan Newland says, yes on the lives, comma. There's a second part to that. It's suspense.
Comma.
Donna Pass Whiskey says, Monday holiday in the US. So this is the second Saturday. But thanks for tuning in from the US. Legend. And Paul Main says, keep doing live, guys. A musical title from the 80s would be no editing required. Fucking hell, I love the 80s. I think
my favourite post of the evening, Savage has gone, fuck, on the chat.
That's it. That's all he's written. He's probably knocked a drink over or something else like that. Anyway.
You know what? For once, I haven't knocked anything over. Because every podcast, I generally knock a drink over.
But you've knocked over glasses, you've broken corks.
Springbank 10 was the last one.
Over a year, I've had zero drama. Every other week, there's something with Mike. Every other week. And he's in a place where he just walks into that room, summer house / shed. He walks in there. I have to
now keep kitchen rolling here.
It's all set up for him already. So he just walks in, sits down, and then just starts like throwing his arms around. Every week I've got to move stuff around. I had to get bottles out to put the things you can see. This isn't all my open bottles, but this is quite a lot of them, because I usually got about 30 open. So I thought I'll put them out so people can see. These are the open bottles I have.
These are mine.
I don't understand Mike's mentality. You go around there, and if anyone gets the chance to go to Mike's summer house / shed, do what I did. As soon as he turns his back, just reach for something and start trying to open it. He's like, "Oh, I put that one. That was special." It's like,
no. Of all the things
the 50s
open,
or something, or I bought that off a Hollywood star.
You just like grabbed like one of the only fucking closed bottles that's here.
Yeah, it's
oh,
true. I did.
Like,
but Mike, why did I do that? Because it was one of the only closed bottles there. I was just being a dick. We're probably 10 drinks deep, and I was like, I'm going to try and open that bottle. And Mike's like, get off that. I told you. Anyway, thanks so much from us. Much appreciated. I hope to see some of you soon. I think we should probably wrap up. This is 10 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yes.
So
we will catch you on the next one, I guess, in a month's time. I'm going to mute our mics now and then give you a little outro, and then we'll say goodnight. So,
thank
you. Cheers.
Cheers, fellas.